Alright guys, my name is Abe Forest from Lagos, Nigeria. Today 6th of June 2026. On Friday, the 5th of June 2026, there was an absolute disaster that happened in the market, and which actually claimed like a $1.3 trillion dollars from the stock exchange, United States of America stock exchange market. Looking at what we have here, you will find out that the S&P 500 dropped more than 30% yes on Friday. So to me, after so much what do you call it, rally up to the top for like 9 weeks, from what we can see here, there was an absolute rally up to the top for 9 weeks. So investors took advantage of the rally. Meanwhile, there was a drop in the market for like 3 weeks, I think 4 weeks, when the war started, February 28th of 2026. So after then, there was corporate earnings in the United States of America. All the companies, all the stocks in America, they started issuing out corporate earnings to investors, and because of that, there was a rallying up to the top for nine straight weeks, knowing fully well that there is a global issues. Having understood this, when the war started in February 28, 2026 of this year, there was a dump in the market for like 6 weeks due to the rise in energy costs. The Strait of Hormuz was closed down. There was back and forth challenges if there's going to be an escalation of the war or de-escalation of the war from the Middle East, Iran, America and Israel. And because there was a shock in there was a shock in energy supply from the Strait of Hormuz, there was a 6 weeks jump in the market, such that the market lost some amount of trillion of dollars in 6 weeks. And you notice that there was a rally up to the top for like another 9 weeks, ignoring the geopolitical tensions that is happening in the Middle East. What is the cause of this? Is the corporate earnings and the AI boom. All these hyperscalers, the mega cap stocks, the likes of Nvidia, the likes of Meta, the likes of Tesla, Amazon, AMD, Micron, Marvel, and the rest, Intel, they decided to build what we call a data center, where they invested so much money in billions of dollars in the market. Investors, knowing fully well that there is supply constraint of energy from the Middle East, that's the supply of oil, the market went down for 6 weeks, and immediately there was a recovery of 9 weeks, such that there was corporate earnings of this from these hyperscalers, in the sense that they begin to issue out corporate earnings, that's the quarterly earnings for investors. And for 9 weeks, the market recovered and even had a all-time high, break the all-time high, and created a new one. And on Friday, there was a dump of one candle in order to restructure how the market is going to look like. And that was due to the fact that the SpaceX IPO is going to be issued out on June 12, 2026, and major investors are trying to take profit from this initial investment that they've done on this stock market. Not just S&P 500. If you look at Nasdaq, you notice that that was also the same thing. For 9 weeks, there was straight gains in the market. And if you go to the Dow Jones, which is the Wall Street stock index, there was also a gain in the market, that 9 weeks gain, and break the new high, the all-time high, and created a new all-time high. But there was a dump in the market shortly after this, that's on Friday. And because people are trying to get ready for the SpaceX IPO that's going to be issued out on June 12, not just SpaceX, OpenAI and Anthropic too is issuing out their shares to the general public the same month. So investors are trying to take profit from their initial investment in the stock index and some other stock markets, so that they can be able to invest and take advantage of this new IPO that is in town in this same June. So that's one of the reasons I found out that the market dump, and we don't know what is going to happen next week on Monday, but fingers crossed. Let's see what's going to happen in the market. We tend to react in the market and not we don't try to push things. We react. Whatever things that happen in the market, we will react on it. So fingers crossed up until Monday. So we'll see what's going to happen on Monday. And there's something I wanted to. On Friday, there was also a job report that came out, which was stronger than expected. There was 175,000 people or employees were employed when there was NFP on Friday. So that boosted the dollar, such that the dollar began to rise. And if you look at this market critically from the daily time frame perspective, you would notice that the market actually rallied up to the top from what we can see here. So on Friday, there was a resistance here for days, in fact for weeks. And when the job report came out, it was stronger than expected. So there was a rally up to the top, such that the dollar index gained more strength, more momentum, and gave us and we do know that gold usually has an indirect effect to dollar. Whenever dollar is rising, then gold and silver and other metals are going to be going down. So same thing applicable to BTC. BTC came down drastically. So I think that's what we're going to be discussing as far as this episode is concerned. So we're going to be seeing you guys in another episode. All right, see you guys later. Bye bye.